reason for it. It's been a while, and I'm curious to see if I'll notice any differences. Why does it think that there's no memory card? Come on, man.
Yeah!
That's like a lie. But okay. We'll double check. I do have another memory card if need arises. Buildux with the 2. Whoa, what the fuck was this? Oh, I forgot about this. Thank you for 2 months, Buildux. Rose Cooking with the 10. Gift to subs. Thank you. I don't know if I've ever seen that shit before, because maybe it's a US version. Oh yeah, let me change the text on screen here. Snake Eater is November 17th.
Good!
2004. As you can see, there is no Snake Eater intro when you first start the game, because it's kind of a spoiler. It's supposed to play after the Snake Eater, the Virtuous mission. So, hey, another 10 pack from Land, thank you very much. If you don't have a save, it doesn't play here. They'll have all the messing around with the menu here. Alright. Not a whole lot going on here, but we do have Snake versus Mikey. Special basic action, camouflage download, yeah. You only have I Like MGS 1 and I Like MGS 2, and I'm playing for the first time. Yeah, clearly you're supposed to have played MGS 2 before this. Man, we can only play on hard. Oh well. Yep. Let me double check that the game sees the memory card. See, okay, it does see it. Yeah, there's no data, but the memory card is there. I don't know why it was saying there's no memory card. Okay, we're good. Technically, if you do Snake versus Monkey now, it'll give us stuff for the main game, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Here we go. I Like MGS 2. I guess I'm a confident player. Sure. After the end of MGS 2, the fan base was split into two, fringe and based. This marked the beginning of MGS 3.
The world was split into two. Good! East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Hey, Lori with a 33. Thank you. Holy shit, we got a level 6 camp crane. Nice. Well, if you select I Like MGS 2, we'll start with the Rykov mask. And we'll get some more behind the scenes of why this game exists. What's wrong? You were expecting something different? Batman with 100 bits, cheers.
Flying over Pakistan, altitude 30,000 feet.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal
Wait,
depressurization.
who is this blonde guy?
Arm main parachute.
I wanna be Snake and shoot some bitches.
Good work. You're as good as they said.
Hey, nice.
Good. Got high visibility.
Zaru, thank you for the gift of sub. Ooh, uranium bullet.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen
Good
hose
work,
to
Jack.
interior connector. Put on your mask.
Amphibious diarrhea with 100 bits. Thank you. See? I knew it. Snake is blonde.
Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Approaching release point.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
Oh shit, vibrations on. That's right. I should have turned it off in the menu. That little cigar flick there makes the controller vibrate. Nice. And adjusting the mask.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of vibration going on here.
Sunrise.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate bailout bottle.
This is one for the history books. The world's first halo jump.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good work.
Spread your wings
You're as
and
good as they
fly.
said.
God be with you.
Little half dead with a gift of sub to actually Angel. Thank you.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No more
the
VR
virtuous
this time.
mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it.
We wouldn't want
It
people
succeeds, we'll be
questioning
effectively organized
reality or
into a
anything.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov.
Oh shit, Paul with a 10 gift of
Certified
subs.
design bureau,
Thank you,
one
man.
of the Soviet's top secret weapon research facilities, and the
The
East's
scam
foremost
train.
expert on weapons development.
Sokolov? Isn't
Still
that
going.
famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin to orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used.
It's gonna
in
be a
that
while
rocket.
since we see MGS 3 again.
After
Until we see
Gagarin
MGS 3
flight,
again.
Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established design bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story. So why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. We used a mole to get the family out first, and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly
Somewhat, Malinky.
after. I was the one
somewhat.
who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes.
A
back
real
then.
reboot
Then what?
of the series.
We got Sokolov over in one piece. but the
Change
whole
in
ordeal
direction.
Left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin.
Barb
In
with
no
the bits,
condition
thank
to
you.
say incoherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets
Only
were in the
games
process of
starting
deploying
at
intermediate-range
dock
ballistic
area
missiles in
with
Cuba.
forklift and crates are
The
canon.
president demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba, and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
Acid 1 and 2
One where
came
the
out
US agreed to remove its
between
IRBMs
Snake
from Turkey.
Eater and Subsistence.
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were
So we
obsolete.
won't see Subsistence for a
We were gonna
while.
get rid of them anyway. They
Do
had no
Acid 1 and 2.
strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse. A cover story
Acid's
that was
pretty
fed
good
to the other intelligence
for
agencies
what it
around
is.
the world.
So what did
A
the
lot of fun.
Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea.
My
We
body.
were running out of time.
These sounds,
Either
man.
give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war.
Casey
And
Gemini,
we had no
thank you
choice.
for the bits.
President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handing him over to agents. on the
Acid
eastern
2
side.
is actually going to be my
Sokolov
first
kept on staying
playthrough. I had no
safe
idea.
Until he disappeared from my sight. Then a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more,
Wait, why is it playing both sound effects?
So what kind
Just
of weapon
realized.
is it? Something to do with space rockets?
Parrot and the
No,
item sound
missiles.
effect.
Same technology.
Well, thank you, Diarrhea.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting
random, but
frequent
it's a
nuclear
second
tests in
sound.
Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I
Okay.
assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
Got 15 seconds left on the scan
according
train.
to our intelligence, he's in Selino-Yarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Oh,
Why?
maybe.
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
Yeah, if you have nothing to do, you can pause and play the stream every once in a while. Just, probably catch up in a few seconds. It just does that over time.
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selino-Yarsk in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the west.
Nice.
If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking. Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat proven.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talent?
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong,
You'll be eating dinner, breakfast.
and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
And a dirt in the jungle. Land, thank you for the gift of salt. Inner heaven. My arch enemy.
Oh shit!
Did you like it?
That's basically what Kojima was doing, yes. Did you like it? You get to be Snake again? Or do you? Wait a minute. That hair. No!
Bisexual.
Kojima! Not again! Who's this blonde guy named Jack? This can't be. Certainly something is wrong.
My butt!
What? What is this? I don't want to be the blonde guy named Jack. Explain yourself, Kojima. Not again.
What's wrong? You were expecting something different? Now, go and find off and get him out of there.
You're expecting something different? Yes, where's Snake? I don't want to be this blonde guy named Jack. Fuck this. I'm gonna return the game now.
What a load of bullshit.
Ooh, it says Snake is dead, not mission failed.
What happened? Snake! Snake!
I think that might actually be one of the things that change in Subsistence. It's supposed to say mission failed here, not Snake is dead. When you haven't taken the mask off yet. Interesting. Yeah, I wanted to check that. They probably changed it for Subsistence. Nice, nice. Okay. I'm the blonde guy named Jack again. Something is wrong here. You can't call by pressing up in this? Huh.
What's wrong? You were expecting something different?
You expecting something different? Wait a second.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
Well, you've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. Oh, and Snake.
Yeah,
The crew isn't watching anymore. You can take off the disguise now.
good
This
idea.
isn't right.
This isn't right. Time for the snake to shed his skin.
All the little jabs at Raiden, people's reaction to Raiden. You're expecting something different? This isn't right. This is the intended way to do it, because this way you also get the two quotes. Can you hear me, Major Tom? Kept you waiting, huh?
Let's make this the greatest 10 minutes of our lives.
Bingo! With the 10 minutes of our lives. I see how you did there, reviewer. Thank you. Wow, the game's good again.
Hear me, Major Tom. This is Snake. Kept you waiting, huh?
This will be a sneaking mission.
He
must
completely
not be
fucking ignores
seen
him.
by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to
You
feed
mentioned using
myself?
You've
satellites
been issued a knife
for
and a
snake
tranquilizer
eater
gun.
operation.
Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your
Russian
backpack.
satellites at that.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
So, as with the other games in the series, it doesn't matter if it's a prequel, you are expected to have played, hopefully, what came before it. In this case, MGS2, and probably be pretty pissed off about it. The whole reason MGS3 exists in this form, Kojima had to be called back because people bitched about Raiden. So MGS3 is, let's give Snake back to the people. If you played MGS2, you start with the mask. This isn't right. We're expecting something different. Now we have reinvented Big Boss as a playable character. The war criminal reinvented as a hero, as they say in MGS4, very accurately. We are on an actual PS2. Got the OG camera, we got the 30 FPS, and the original blur and resolution and effects. But yeah, let's go get the backpack. The game is full of little references, little jabs at Raiden or MGS2. Even if it's a prequel, you'd be doing yourself a disservice by playing this first. The story doesn't matter as much as the real life development process and order of the series. And all the stuff that happened behind the scenes, of course. So, like Kojima put it, in the game universe, Solid Snake is a clone of Big Boss. But in the real universe, in real life, it's quite the opposite. It's Big Boss. Naked Snake, who is a clone of Solid Snake, as a playable character. So, we now want to give Snake back to the people. So we get all the little quirks. The cardboard box, the sneaking, the flirting with the ladies, the dog mushing. It's kind of obscure, but there's a call where Naked Snake also talks about how he likes dog sled races and whatever else I'm forgetting. Basically, all the traits that make Solid Snake, the playable character, are now in Naked Snake reinvented as a playable character to please the people who bitched about Raiden for so long. So here we are. This isn't right.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake.
More on that after
To
this
equip a weapon,
very
it's
long
necessary
call.
to take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose Weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left. From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the Enter button. For other equipped items, just do the same thing from Item.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right. Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun?
That's right. It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire. Once its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone. So don't get too trigger-happy with it. The suppressor's durability is shown in the icon. Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste. The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation of international conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. It could spark an international incident. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word. And there'll be no rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She?
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
Huh?
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
What a load of bullshit.
Boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me.
Oh.
Talk to me.
You're a
Let
real
me hear your
egotistical
voice.
woman.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything
What a
about
load
you.
of bullshit.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top secret mission.
Hmm.
You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. I was on a top-secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You are a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time, and so do the leaders of a country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think?
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake? Oh, right. Your code name is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit, a group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss.
Yes?
It's good to hear your voice again.
Same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
CQC? Close quarters combat, huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the Major?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is 141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle techniques.
Gotcha.
Your mission is to retrieve Dr. Sokolov. Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
Hey, the sound balance is
Snake,
messed
try
up.
to remember some of the basics of CQC.
You've been equipped with a dick for this
Commencing
mission.
virtuous
Be careful,
mission.
it's noisy.
Now.
Hey, thank you for the bits, whoever sent that. I think there's something that if I take too long, I'm gonna miss out on. So before we do anything else, let's go get this call here. Mission should only last a few hours. First order of business. How do I feed myself? So there's two calls that change regarding food here. Depending on whether you've already eaten something or just collected food without eating it. Let's go get a couple food items. Get those 2 snakes. We'll also get... we'll get the mushroom here. I can barely fucking see it. So, the call about just finding food and not eating it is kind of boring. They just tell you how to eat it. What's interesting is the call, if you have already eaten something. And we need a couple food items, one to eat and one to keep in our backpack so the game knows we have food. Now we gotta call 0 a few times here, but we'll probably get some other story calls before we get the one I want. It also tells you where to go first.
Snake, intelligence
Blah blah blah.
Snake, remember that this operation is a solo sneaking mission. We'll be providing you with support over the radio, but out in the field, you're on your own. There's no backup. And there's no way you'll survive a battle with a large enemy contingent.
I think this
Avoid
is...
engagement.
Yeah, not an interesting call.
You ate some food?
Oh, there it is.
You aren't expecting food to recover life, are you?
Of course not. Food alone doesn't heal wounds. Food only recovers stamina.
Good.
Why do you ask?
That's tasty. That eating canned food would recover his life.
Well, was he some kind of idiot?
Of sorts, yes. But in the 21st century, they'll probably come up with something that does just that.
Ah, so who is the idiot of the 21st century who recovers life by eating canned food? Another little jab at right in there. Now you might think, oh, but it's Solid Snake, I'm just one tanker, whatever. But if you listen to the entirety of the little jabs at the 21st century or being a real soldier, it's, of course, the entirety of Rykov's existence and how nobody likes him. It's Raiden. They're talking about Raiden, the idiot of the 21st century. Or we are the idiots, yes. Either way, Raiden was the player. Yeah, if you fuck around for too long here, it seems like you lose that call somehow. So I just wanted to get it right away. And the calls in MGS3, they are kind of not very evenly paced. There's only so many areas in the Virtuous mission, but there's a lot of calls, especially with 0. There's so many story-related calls and unique calls, so you basically have no choice but to sit somewhere and keep calling forever to get all those calls. It's kind of like the save calls on the tanker in MGS2, where there's only so few areas, but there's a shit ton of save calls with Otacon, so you just have to keep loading a new area and keep calling Otacon to save over and over. It's kind of how it works. But they are really interesting calls. Now the structure of the calls in this game is as follows. The first time you call, he tells you where to go. The second or third time, he might tell you about some tutorial calls, some buttons or whatever. He might repeat where to go again, and then each time you open the radio, it loads the unique call, but you have to go through
Paramedic is
the tutorial stuff and the where to go
Snake, when
stuff.
your stamina gets low, it negatively affects...
Yeah.
Your actions can lower...
Yeah.
Snake, use the survival...
Yeah.
Major.
There we go.
What is it?
It's about your code name.
Major Tom?
Yeah, where'd you get that name?
From a tunnel.
A tunnel?
That's right. Snake, Have you seen the movie The Great Escape?
No.
It's a movie about a determined group of Allied POWs trapped in a German POW camp who plan an escape. The POWs dig 3 tunnels for their escape. They named them Dick, Harry, and Tom.
I see. So Tom was an escape tunnel. Did they make it?
Out of the camp? Of course. One of the tunnels was even discovered before it was finished, but eventually they do make it out.
I get it now. So Tom was the tunnel they used to escape.
Yes, that's right.
What is it?
Well, actually, I'm not sure if I remember correctly.
Major.
Oh, it's all right. It's, Tom, Snake. Tom is the escape tunnel. Yes, no question about it.
You can see that he's not so sure about that. So, I guess on top of all the calls that we want to get here, you also have to put up with my rambling about the things that I'd like to point out in MGS 3. Like I was talking about earlier, giving Snake back to the people after all the bitching about Raiden, the backlash after MGS2's release. That's largely why we're here. And it's also a prequel set in a jungle for 2 reasons. One, it's in a jungle that doesn't really exist because apparently there's no jungles like this in Russia. Purely because Kojima wanted to keep working with Harry Gregson Williams, and he said, "Oh yeah, I would do it again if I get to write music for a jungle setting." For some reason, he wanted to do a jungle settings, and of course, Kojima jumped at the chance. So I was like, "Okay, say no more. The game is set in a jungle now." So we still have Harry Gregson Williams music, and the other thing is, Kojima was gonna make this take place on his birth year, 1963. The Virtuous Mission takes place right as Kojima's birthday comes up, and then the Snake Eater mission takes place on Kojima's birthday on August 24th throughout September or whatever. And the Snake Eater mission goes into September, but it all starts at the end of August with Kojima's birthday being on the 24th. And they went with 1964 instead of 1963 because they wanted to include the Kennedy assassination in the plot. So since Kojima was born in August and Kennedy wasn't assassinated until November, they added 1 more year to it. So it is now 1964. So all this bringing Snake back to the people, and you could say specifically, almost genetically engineering MGS3 to be everybody's favorite, to please all those people who complain about MGS2 and Raiden. And look at it these days. You throw a rock in a crowd of MGS fans, chances are a random person will say that MGS3 is their favorite. These days, MGS3 is everybody's favorite, right? Well, most people's favorite. At the same time, it's kind of genius, really, because you've got a more kind of dumbed down story and setting, easier to follow. Of course, they had to do that after MGS2, had people questioning reality, which is uncomfortable. But at the same time, there's so much subtext that people miss about MGS3, why it's the way it is, that I just have to stop and talk about it when we're playing it. So, Snake being given back to the people as a playable character. Okay, how do I put this? You ever notice how, starting with MGS3, there's this theme of loyalty to the mission, of sense of duty, of doing things out of loyalty, not of duty. There's all this military salute, business, being loyal to the mission and nothing else, even if it means betraying yourself or betraying your country or betraying whatever. Later on, Kojima will go on to compare game development to a battlefield in MGS4. But already in MGS3, you can find articles of him talking about how he was forced to come back because his team, he was trying to pass on the series, of course, with MGS2, and his team just couldn't do it. And he was already talking about being forced back in a way. They just couldn't do it without him. This theme of military salute this and loyalty to the mission that, blah, 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 is nowhere to be seen in the series up until this point. Have you ever seen Snake or Raiden do a military salute? Or talking about, like, being loyal to the mission no matter what, like the boss does? The theme of MGS3, the keyword of MGS3, is scene, as in SCENE. The scene, what the boss was just talking about. How people aren't the ones to dictate the missions, people's values change over time, and you might just be forced to do something that you normally wouldn't do, and you have to stay loyal to the mission. None of that was in MGS 1 or 2. This is a profound change in direction of the series, and is a reflection of what happened in real life with the series development. MGS 1 and 2, their keywords are gene and meme, and there's these little real life lessons that Kojima wanted to impart and pass on. So you have, genetic fate and breaking away from it in MGS 1, and MGS 2 you have information control and how it's spread and how it's interpreted, and whether it's, it's up to you what to make of it, or you let the Patriots do it for you, basically, which they won, by the way. So MGS 1, meme, MGS 2, MGS 1, gene, MGS 2, meme, MGS 3 is scene. The political scene that the boss is talking about that eventually leads her to betray the country, and Snake's situation, also doing something that he normally wouldn't do, eventually killing the boss. The scene is the same that Kojima was going through developing this game, coming back after MGS2 when he said he wouldn't, and being quote-unquote forced to do something that he wouldn't do normally otherwise. So now Kojima felt this kind of responsibility, and it's very much reflected, more so in MGS4, but the themes of MGS3, and of course Kojima talking about being forced already, very much reflect that. The theme of being loyal to the mission, of respect to the duty, to the mission, whatever, military salute this, sacrifice that. Now everything is about sacrifice, loss, respect, or loyalty to the mission, no matter what, no matter how fucked up it is. And it's no longer about Kojima wanting to pass things on, but it is instead about the series development. And of course, the final thing being the boss's will being misinterpreted. From here on out, everything stems from people misunderstanding the boss's will. Who, by the way, if you do the optional calls, the boss invented everything. The boss invented Snake, made him into the soldier he is. The boss invented special forces, sneaking missions, stealth, CQC, the Halo jump, space travel, whatever the fuck else. The boss invented sliced bread. Who is it that has their will misinterpreted by their team and invents Snake and stealth? Why, of course, Kojima. From people misunderstanding Kojima's will, passing on the series with MGS2, failing at that, we now have the boss inventing Snake, inventing the player, inventing the stealth, inventing all these concepts, and her will gets misinterpreted, which leads to a lot of shit happening in the game universe, just as much as real life game development with the series. And a lot of people play MGS3, want to be the badass action hero, save the world, get the girl, save the hostages, kill the bad guy, stop the launch, whatever, what have you. And sadly, that's all they see in MGS3 because it was specifically made to be easier to follow. On the surface, it's very shallow, but there is a subtext that a lot of people miss in MGS3. It's commentary on the series development and Kojima being in the scene, values changing, people dictating, not people, but the times dictating what you're doing, even if it's fucked up, even if it's betraying yourself or your country or killing someone you care about. Of course, what does Snake do? He completely misses the point of the boss's will and kills her. So, in these days, average Metal Gear fan, like I said, it's more about Big Boss than anything else. The direction MGS1 and 2 we're going is just nowhere to be seen. Everything is Big Boss this, Pachinko that, military salute this. Oh, it's so cool. Oh, he sacrificed everything. People having absolute reverence for the boss is really, really, really ironic. Because the boss is just a reflection of Kojima's will being misinterpreted and failed to be passed on with MGS2. But people have absolute reverence for the boss while giving absolutely no shit about what Kojima was trying to do with MGS2. And Kojima just fully embraced that, People aren't the ones to dictate missions. People's values change over time, like the boss was saying. So yeah, he fully embraced that. Now we make fun of Rykov as Raiden as Rykov. Everybody hates him. The idiot of the 21st century who eats rations. There's a call about using laser sights. I'm just wanting to. All the bullet weapons have laser sights, and you're not a real soldier if you use laser sights. Nobody's gonna like that face. Oh yeah, of course. Let's do this call. To add to what I'm saying right now, if you put the mask back on. Again, we might get another couple calls first, but you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Snake? Snake?
Blah, 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 blah.
Snake, are you
There
wearing
you
that
go.
mask again?
Yeah. For some reason, it feels kind of nostalgic.
Yeah, well, for some reason, I don't like it.
Why not?
Something about that face just rubs me the wrong way.
It looks fine to me. But if you hate it that much, why'd you give it to me in the first place?
Well, that mask was originally created for use in another mission. An agent was supposed to disguise himself as a Soviet officer and sneak into an enemy installation. We had it all set to go, but certain circumstances forced us to abort the mission. With the mission cancelled, the mask was going to be thrown away. But the guy at the CIA's tech division who created it pitched a fit.
Why'd he do that?
He said it was too good to throw away.
Yeah.
According to him, that mask is a revolutionary new design that lets the wearer blink, something that wasn't possible up till now.
I'd think you'd want to make the lips move before bothering with the blinking.
Yes, I thought so too, but for some reason he's obsessed with making it blink.
Whoever he is, he sounds like a crackpot.
Well, he does good work, but I spend 3 days a month just dealing with
Sigint,
the complaints
foreshadowing.
about him. Oh well, never mind. Anyway, I decided to put this mask we had in storage to good use by hiding your identity from the gunship crew.
I get it. So this mask is based on a model somewhere.
That's right.
What do I do if I meet that guy?
That's not going to be a problem.
Why not?
The man the mask is based on is a GRU officer. You're in the KGB's sphere of influence. Chances are you won't run into him.
And if I do?
Beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, fuck that guy. So, in a lot of ways, MGS3 is Kojima giving in to the people and fully embracing the shitting on Raiden and trying to make people happy with a simpler story and being a badass action hero, Snake again. The game is full of shit like this. You just need to know where to look. Beat the crap out of him, the idiot of the 21st century who eats rations. Yeah. We'll get another call later with Sokolov about it. Ooh, do I get the sensors here? No, only the AP sensor. Oh well, fuck it. There's a couple funny calls about them. Ursus, thank you for the 38 months. Sorry we're sitting here for so long, but I really do want to point all this crap out because people just see MGS3 as a surface level, usually. And yeah, Kojima just fully embraces his destiny, his scene that forces him to do what he's doing now. Kind of like the boss does. And starts shitting all over his own work with MGS2 and Raiden, the idea of passing the series on, passing on the message about finding for yourself what to believe in and what to pass on. Just like the boss fully embraces her betrayal.
What a load of bullshit.
And so does Kojima with MGS3. Let's give people Snake, let's give people a simpler plot, let's make fun of Raiden every chance we can. Let's just fully embrace it, even though I'm basically betraying my own legacy and my own message, because these people didn't get it. So, we gotta do it this way now. And today, MGS3 is everybody's favorite as a result of that. The irony is just amazing to me. Anyway, more calls.
Saving the game, Snake?
Hopefully that memory card works. And of course, with Kojima departing Konami only got worse. Pachinko, Delta, remake, what have you. Yeah. Of course, they're remaking MGS3. It's everybody's favorite baby. They just have no idea why it's their favorite. Kojima played everybody into liking MGS3 as their favorite without really realizing what was done to them.
Hey, Snake, you ever heard of Godzilla King of Monsters?
No, what is it?
It's a movie. You haven't seen it?
Nope.
It's about this monster called Godzilla who grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
Nuclear test, huh? Then the Marshall Islands must be crawling with giant monsters right about now.
It's just make-believe.
Maybe that's why my pants have been so tight lately.
Snake, it's a movie, not a report out of Los Alamos.
I know. So then what happened?
Godzilla is immune to all weapons, and humanity has no way to stop the monster. Dr. Shirazawa develops a new type of weapon, but meanwhile, Godzilla is getting closer and closer to Tokyo, obliterating everything in its path. It was originally a Japanese movie, but they made an American version, too. I recommend seeing the original Japanese one if you ever get the chance. It's mostly mindless fun, but it's also got a serious anti-nuke message as well.
Where can I see the original?
You'll just have to go to Japan.
You don't say.
Really? That's too bad.
Well, if you wait 40 years, you might be able to see it in America, too.
Why's that?
2004 will be Godzilla's 50th birthday.
You think they're still going to be making Godzilla movies then?
Of course! Everybody loves Godzilla.
You sure know a lot about movies.
I don't suppose you're the movie-watching type, are you?
Not really.
Okay, then I'll tell you everything I know. When the going gets tough, movies can save your life. It's always good to be able to look at things from a different perspective when you get in a jam. That's the magic of movies.
No kidding. Well, I guess it might at least make a nice distraction.
That's the spirit, Snake. Have a little fun.
It's mostly mindless fun, but it's got a serious anti-nuke message as well. Oh, really? You don't say. Just kinda like this, huh? And not to light the fire under people's asses, but in case it wasn't clear, I don't exactly agree with this huge shift in the series and Kojima basically giving in to the people and fully embracing shitting on his own work in MGS2. And making everything about Big Boss and the boss's will and sacrifice, and oh, she's so great, she had to sacrifice everything, loyalty to your duty, to your mission, to come back and fucking develop more games that you didn't want to. Of course, that goes full-blown AIDS in MGS4, but we'll cover that later. And then Peace Walker, as much as I love Peace Walker is my top 3, but it keeps fucking rubbing MGS3's ending and the boss and adding to the boss and the tapes and how great she is and how she invented everything. And like I said, look at it these days. Pachinko, Delta, MGS 3DS, Big Boss this, people don't even fucking know the difference between Big Boss and Solid Snake. The boss is so great, let's fully embrace that. And the spirit of MGS1 and 2, the real origin of the series. Well, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, there's Metal Gear 1 and 2, but whatever. The spirit of MGS1 and 2 is just completely lost. But MGS4, making sure of that. And yeah, that's why, yeah, MGS3 is a great game, but I do not agree with that shift. And I would have liked to either see what Kojima's team was going to do without him, or if Kojima was really going to have to come back, at least not fucking appeal to everybody and give in and shit on his own work. But I'm just too being misunderstood. It's honestly, to me, it's one of the saddest things that happened in the series. MGS4 puts this in an excellent way. There is an amazing fucking call in MGS4 where Snake is complaining about the war criminal reinvented as a hero, and Otacon talks about Big Boss's exploits in the 60s have made him a legend, and now everybody's looking at it differently. Suddenly, his stuff is the focus, like it's the center of pop culture, book, magazines, the net. Everybody loves Big Boss. That's what happened in real life. Anyway, more on that when we get to MGS4. I would move on, but we still have like a million zero calls to do as well. So yes, MGS3 is great. It's not a bad game by any means, but it is severely misunderstood. And it really does shit all over MGS2 in a lot of ways. Because when you think MGS3, how the fucking MGS3 shit on MGS2? It's Volgin and bad guys, Sokolov, whatever, prequel, the boss. How can that shit all over MGS2? Well, that's how. That's how. If you simply take Rykov, and interrogate him, you'll see that they turn MGS2's ending into a joke. Literal joke in this game. Alright, fuck it. Let's do some more calls.
Snake, be careful of that swamp.
What's dangerous about it?
It's a bottomless swamp.
A bottomless swamp?
Yes. The mud in that swamp is highly viscous. It will stick to your body like tar. It will be impossible for you to swim. If you get swallowed by the bottomless swamp, you won't be able to escape on your own. Once you sink down to about head level, you'll be trapped for good. Make sure you get out before that happens.
So, I have to make sure I don't sink too far. Got it.
Snake, wait.
There's more?
Yes.
What?
Crocodiles.
Crocodiles?
Yes.
Crocodiles. Like the reptile.
That's correct. More accurately, they're Indian gavials.
What are crocs doing deep in this forest?
You'll have to ask Paramedic about that one. Paramedic?
Yes.
Oh,
The Indian
it goes
gavial is
into
a
the
crocodile that originally lived
rock
in
call.
freshwater
Nice.
regions in India and Nepal.
Why are Indian crocodiles way out here?
They're captive crocodiles that were brought here for research purposes but escaped and became wild again. Indian gavials are large creatures. Adult males grow to over 6 meters in length. You'll never catch one alive, even if you use the tranquilizer gun.
Got it. So, how do they...
Taste? Yes, I did look into that. You know what they always say. Tastes like chicken.
Sounds delicious.
But be careful when capturing an Indian gavial. Normally they're cowardly creatures, but the ones in the forest there are belligerent. Apparently they attack humans.
What do you mean?
They weren't the direct subject of any serious research, but some think they may have become violent as a side effect of the atomic research that was conducted nearby.
Bet humans school us on the lore behind the call here. They got truncated. There's one more little subtextual thing throughout the game. Now, you really need to have a complete view of the game's optional calls and dialogue, which I dare say I happen to do. It's not immediately obvious, but once you know a little bit and seen a little bit of everything, you'll see that basically Snake is a dumbass in this game. So on the surface level, if you don't do the optional calls, if you don't explore, You just see him being a badass, maybe feeling bad about the boss, whatever, killing everybody, whatever, and saving the world. But if you do the optional calls, remember, Snake is still very much the player. And I can't help but think that it's again commentary on the players, people not fucking understanding MGS2 and now being happy to be a badass action hero on the surface level in MGS3, but if you do the optional calls, he's a fucking dumbass. He's completely fucking clueless. He doesn't know where to go. He forgets what the mission is, where to go. He doesn't know how shit tastes or how to eat. He doesn't know how to use sights. They patronize him. They make fun of him. They talk behind his back all the time. There's this call with Eva where she just completely fucking plays him for ages. He doesn't understand who Tatiana is for the longest time. We want to see a little glimpse of that here, where he just keeps asking shit. Like, I can't help but think that it's, yeah, you get to be big boss. You're a badass on surface level, but you're still dumbass deep inside, player. Yeah, the mushroom call, the call about meeting the sorrow. There's so many calls where they just the call where he forgets where to go all the time. God, it's so good. It's unfortunately it's a lot of hidden stuff. That's like this again the subtext of it. A lot of people just fucking miss it. Let's. Oh, but we're in hard because I didn't have a save, so we gotta get hit. You missed, dude. Low health call here. Damn, do we need another one? There we go.
Snake, do you read? Snake!
Major.
Snake, are you alright?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You're far from okay. Look at your life gauge. You're on your last leg.
No, I can still...
See?
Snake, this is a solo sneaking mission. Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Huh?
It means there's no backup, no cavalry. If you're taken out, nobody is there to take your place. Pull out for now and recuperate.
Find a hiding place and get some rest. Your life gauge will gradually recover with time. But the speed of your life gauge recovery depends on the level of your stamina gauge. So get plenty to eat, then get some rest. You hear me? Do you hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, thank you, viewer. I didn't know. Let me get rid of this cursed fucking mushroom that is everywhere, unfortunately. I want to get the special call about it, but you can't do it for a while. Get rid of it. So now we'll have paramedic talk about all the food and shit as we find it. So we should get a reticulated python call here.
I see you caught yourself a reticulated python. The reticulated python is said to be the longest snake in the world. The biggest ones can grow up to 10 meters in length. Although they're not poisonous, they're still very dangerous, so be careful around them. They have a highly ferocious temperament, and they can swallow whole, even large animals like deer and pigs. Their most distinguishing feature is the mesh pattern of their scales. This pattern acts as a highly effective natural camouflage. If you think there might be a reticulated python about, pay close attention to your surroundings. Otherwise, you could get bitten before you even know it's there. It's a huge snake, but you should be able to capture it alive by using the tranquilizer gun. I'll bet if you capture one and throw it at an enemy, it'll give him a good scare. You've eaten one, haven't you?
Yeah, it wasn't half bad.
Cannibal.
What was that?
Nothing. Talk to you later.
Ah, so we got the swamp call that's segued into the croc call. So I wonder now, if I capture the crocodile, will she not talk about it? That's annoying. I mean, you already got the call. It's just it means that I gotta be careful. Because what happens with paramedic is that if you call her and you don't have any food item, she will start talking about food that's in the area. And since a fucking mushroom is everywhere, she might start talking about the mushroom before I want her to. So I'm only gonna call her when we get something that I know she's gonna look at, not what's in the area. Let's call. Oh, let me unequip the gun because I don't want to talk about it. Let's call the boss a few times here. Let's see if we can get the laser side call.
Camouflage.
Yeah.
Visibility. You can only.
Yeah.
I see you're wearing the olive drab uniform. Olive drab, or OD for short, is
Now
what you
she's
might call the pre-camouflage uniform.
now Sagan isn't
Plain-colored
gonna talk
OD
about it. Oh well.
fatigues are still worn by infantry today, but they'll be replaced sooner or later by patterned camouflage. As you can see, it's got no colors or markings on it, so of course it won't make a very effective disguise. You should change into some other type of camouflage as soon as you can.
How do I shoot?
Normally, you would ask a
Yeah, camel index.
In my day, I did my share of sneaking into enemy territory.
You mean since World War II?
Yeah, mostly snatch missions.
Snatch mission. That's where you abduct an enemy officer without killing him, right?
Right. That's where I got the original idea for CQC. In a snatch mission, taking out the target's escorts by shooting them is not an option. If the enemy hears the gunshot, they'll know there's an intruder and tighten security. And the target will sense danger and try to get away.
You needed a way to take out the guards and secure the target without making a sound.
That was the idea. The CQC style that you and I developed is based on the techniques I cultivated during those missions. So...
First time I've heard this.
Huh?
You've never told me any of this before.
I didn't?
No. Why? Why didn't you tell me this before? Why now?
I have my reasons. This is a solo sneaking mission. There's no one out there to support you. You'll need to be more than just a soldier. You'll have to be a medic, a pilot, and even a cook.
A medic?
You don't
Wait a
need to
minute.
remind me.
I'm glad to hear that.
Glad to hear what?
That you haven't changed a
Oh,
bit.
the
The
yeah,
truth
this
is,
call too.
you're nervous,
The
aren't you?
I'm not
Bolton call.
nervous.
There's no need to be embarrassed. No one's ever attempted a mission like this before. In fact, you might say that getting nervous is the natural way to react. Relax. That's why you have the survival viewer.
Okay, shut up.
Choose battle fatigue.
But how do I shoot a gun?
It takes more. Camouflage. Hunters have known about camouflage since ancient times. But it's only quite recently, since the 18th century, that it's been applied to military operations. The first camouflage introduced to the military was a solid-colored uniform designed to blend in with the battlefield. It was really more of a protective coloring than true camouflage. Camouflage in the modern sense of the word wasn't introduced until the First World War. During that war, weapons such as aircraft, cannon, and warships were painted in camouflage colors. But it was almost never used to disguise individual soldiers. The widespread use of camouflage began in World War II. The Germans and the Russians in particular made active use of it in battle. Nowadays, with the Cold War raging, the Eastern Bloc has been hard at work developing all sorts of camouflage patterns. In the West, the French implemented it in their paratrooper corps, and SAS during the Wars of Independence in Indochina.
I never saw it used in Korea, though.
America has lagged behind other countries in incorporating camouflage. They're only just beginning to consider introducing it into certain units.
Why is that?
Apparently, there are those in the U.S. military who consider camouflage too passive a technique.
Morons.
You're telling me. But now more and more people are beginning to appreciate how useful and important camouflage can be. I'm sure the brass will see the light soon enough.
How do I use my sights?
To place a weapon... Press the first.
Oh, this should be it.
The first-person view attack is a fundamental part of gunfighting. It allows you to aim and direct.
Close to it.
The sooner you find the enemy, the better you'll be able to deal with the situation. So be sure to make use of sensors like
Yeah.
when you aim your
There we go.
handgun in first-person view, align the front sight and the rear sight of the gun with the target, then fire.
No laser sight?
What?
A laser sight. I heard the military was developing them, but...
You want a laser sight?
What are you, a
A
baby?
well-trained soldier has no use for a laser sight. No training wheels on this mission, Snake.
This one's subtle, but every bullet-fired weapon in MGS1 and 2, especially MGS2, the M9, you know, the USB, the Mark 23, the M4, the AK, they all have laser sights. So it's yet another little jab at the idiot of the 21st century. What are you, a baby? You're not a real soldier if you want a laser sight. And of course, Snake, coming from MGS1 and 2, especially MGS2, would expect that. Again, this might be a prequel and this might be Naked Snake, but you, as the player, should have hopefully played MGS1 and 2 before you get into this. If you do the call about the end, when you get to the fight with the end, Snake says, I have experience sniping in urban and marine environment. Now, you might think that there's just lore behind Naked Snake's training and universe, and you'd be wrong, because he's talking about MGS1 and 2. Sniping experience in urban and marine environment. MGS1 and MGS2 sniping. And that's confirmed if you play the Japanese version, where the subtitles will literally say MGS1 and 2. More zero calls.
If you have any questions...
Fuck it.
Snake, intelligence indicates that that area is outside the...
Yeah.
Snake, in order to carry out the mission without being spotted, you must learn to... You can use an equip...
Yeah, okay.
Snake, making it... Snake, be careful. The way to change between standing, crouching, and crawling has changed slightly from the methods learned in training.
Again, training, previous games, training.
Listen up, Snake. Keep in mind that
here we
this
go.
operation is strictly covert. Engagements should be avoided. If you must dispose of an enemy, do it with the tranquilizer gun.
Yup. Sweet dreams, Boy Scout.
That's right. And by the time he wakes up, you and Sokolov will be safely out of the country.
Sipping hot coffee on a plane back home.
What did you say? What did you say?
Sipping hot coffee on a...
You're gonna drink that foul mud? On the victory flight home?
Okay, then. What would you drink?
Tea, of course.
Tea, of course. Okay.
Sokolov...
The call about the Fulton recovery, which is kind of one of the later calls for Zero, has another little moment where they treat him like an idiot.
If you have any...
It's like, okay, so you don't need an explanation then. No, I don't. Very well, here's your explanation.
Snake, the fake death and revival pills we gave you are the latest in internal medicines developed for intelligence ops by the CIA's technology.
Goes on to explain anyway.
You can use the fake death pill to send yourself into a death-like state for a limited period of time. Use it wisely, and you should be able to fool the enemy into thinking you're really dead. It may come in handy if you ever find yourself cornered. To revive yourself from the fake death state, use the revival pill. But remember, timing is critical. The effect will be ruined if you revive right in front of your enemy.
Interesting. But how does it work?
What do you mean?
I don't feel right taking some pill I don't know anything about. How does it make me look dead? How's it gonna affect my body?
Well, Snake, about that...
I get it. I should ask Paramedic. Paramedic.
Allow me to explain. You know how there are animals in nature that play dead, like weevils, ladybugs, chickadees, possums, and the like? Well, the fake death pill takes the natural art of playing dead and applies it to the spy world. When you take the fake death pill, it causes your body to rapidly secrete a number of chemicals: adenosine and serotonin, as well as opioid peptides such as methionine and kephalin. Those chemicals act to induce a state of hibernation, causing your heart rate, your breathing rate, and your body temperature to drop dramatically. It'll truly look like you've dropped dead upon initial inspection. The revival pill, to put it simply, is a counteracting agent to the fake
Oh
death
yeah,
pill.
there's some times where he will
When you
fucking
take
fall
it
asleep
causes
in the
your body to secrete
background.
stimulants like noradrenaline and other chemicals such as naloxone, which block the effects of the fake death pill.
Scratch his
Basically,
head,
it wakes
fall
you up.
asleep.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try and explain it in more detail. The secretion of methionine and kephalin triggered by the fake death pill causes the opioid receptors.
Oh, okay. I think I get it now.
You sure?
Yeah.
But you must want to know a little bit more. There are 3 types of receptors: delta, kappa, and mu. Methionine and kephalin acts on the...
Kappa, you
Paramedic, I
say?
think Snake understands now. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah. Clear as crystal.
But...
Major, I've got enough info about the pills, so I'm gonna get back to the mission now.
Yes, you do that.
Hey, wait a...
Poor paramedic. Like, look, this is dumbass.
When you're in the jungle,
Yeah,
your sensors and other electronic devices can...
yeah. Oh no, I shouldn't have skipped this call. Bioelectricity. I shouldn't. It got me. Stranger than the Major? There's nothing strange about the Major. My tea's gone. Who drank it? How am I supposed to have tea time without tea? Well, not too strange at least. Hey, my scone's gone too. Oh, fuck. I shouldn't have skipped. Sometimes you have these tutorial calls that start out as tutorial calls and they have a little something at the end there. Yeah, that one got me.
Major, what kind of place is this secret design bureau that Sokolov is heading?
The Soviets have a number of secret design bureaus like this one, each engaged in cutting-edge research. OKB-1, the bureau where the Voskhod spacecraft was developed and which plays a leading role in the Soviet space program, is one of those installations. Most of them are located in secret cities, built in isolated areas, and we don't even know their exact locations, much less the nature of their research. And Sokolov's OKB-754 is the most secret bureau of them all. The intelligence communities of the West have tried time and again to find out what they're working on, but they've failed consistently.
So you have absolutely no idea what Sokolov is developing?
We've got nothing.
Then how did you get the information for this mission? It can't have been from Sokolov.
From the boss.
The boss?
That's right. She has her own intelligence channels that she cultivated during the last war. She shared what she learned with us. That we were able to get the green light for this mission at all is thanks to her pull with the powers that be at the CIA. In other words, this mission would never have come together without the boss's help in a number of respects. In the 2 years since Sokolov's asylum operation, I've spent all my time making preparations. And now is the time to show some results. Fox is a next-generation espionage organization designed to update us for 21st century operations that I propose to the CIA. Fox sends individuals who excel in espionage and special tactics on solo sneaking missions like this one. A next-generation unit that combines the skills of Special Forces units like the SAS and Green Berets with the know-how of an infiltration and espionage unit.
Military politics never was my strong suit.
What I'm trying to say is stealth. This is a stealth mission, crucial to the coming Cold War. The CIA director has always frowned upon Fox, but if this mission succeeds, Fox will be added to the CIA as an official unit. I intend to make Fox the leader in special operations. And to that end, this mission must succeed.
Why
Right.
don't you tell us
I'm
about the
counting on
other
you, Snake.
unit you have?
Snake, the Soviet troops...
So, Zero could barely fucking get Fox recognized, and you're telling me that he had a whole other unit in the background? Yeah, okay. That call makes the whole XOF thing complete fucking bullshit, but okay.
Snake,
Yeah.
Snake, there are other... In most areas...
On.
Major, tell me about Sokolov's past work.
I assume you already know that Sokolov was the developer of the multi-engine cluster. The multi-engine cluster is exactly that, a system for fitting a single rocket with multiple engines. The Vostok rocket, for instance, had 32 engines. With the technology they had, it was difficult for the Soviets to develop large engines with massive thrust. So instead, they decided to focus on using multiple smaller engines to achieve the desired thrust. With this method, though, maintaining the fuel balance between the various engines was a major problem. Sokolov was the man who provided the solution.
And that's what earned him the job as the head of the design bureau?
Apparently so.
So this secret weapon is some kind of ballistic device?
That's my best guess. We don't know for sure, but...
You'll find out soon as I get Sokolov out of here.
I'm counting on you.
But first, some more calls.
With an equipped weapon, the degree to which you move the left analog stick not only changes your walking speed, but changes your speed...
I haven't heard that in a long time because he said analog stick.
Part of your mission is to demonstrate to the brass the core concepts behind Fox. Leave no evidence. That's the essence of Fox. And avoid engagement with the enemy.
Understood.
Not only that, I mean leave nothing
Here
behind,
we go.
including weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, even bodily waste.
Yeah, when I do my business, I bury it good.
What?
What's wrong?
That's the American way.
American way for what?
To handle defecation. You're gonna bury it?
Yeah.
Bring it home with you.
What?
That's what we did in SAS. The US Army is sloppy. They do things well, but not perfectly. Here in Fox, we're doing things my way. Got it?
Yes, sir.
This and Skullface complaining about how he had to clean up after Snake during MGS 3, of course being a recon, is why it's actually canon that Skullface must have been going around digging up all of Snake's turds and putting them in a plastic bag for Zero. Can't really blame the guy for being mad at the both of them. They put it in a plastic bag and they tie it to their body and they keep it with them. That was Skullface's job, to dig up all of Snake's shit and bring him back to Zero. Major, here's Snake's shit. Slaps on his desk. Major, I dug it up.
Snake, if you step in...
Okay.
Equip food as a...
Look at all these mechanics that are no longer there in Phantom Pain.
Move the right...
Yeah, okay.
Snake, the Mark 22 is a tranquilizer gun. Use it to put...
Okay.
Major, didn't you say that the boss was in the SAS with you?
Yes, we formed the 22nd SAS Regiment together. When the SAS, the British Special Air Service, was first established, they invited the boss on board as a special advisor. In fact, you might say it was the boss who put together Rayforce and L Detachment, which laid the groundwork for today's SAS. You won't find her name in the history books, but her contributions were many and great.
Yeah, the real heroes are never made public.
Not in our line of work, anyway. The dummy run on Heliopolis and the nighttime raids on German air bases in North Africa were her idea as well. Yes, she was always one step ahead of the rest of us, both in thought and action. It's true what they say. Who dares wins.
The motto of the SAS.
Precisely. The motto itself is a tribute to her service.
Sure.
Needless to say, the SAS has become a model for special forces units all over the world. In that sense, the boss really is the mother of special forces.
Did you guys know that the boss invented everything and came up with everything?
Snake, let me explain the enemy's various states of alert.
I'm good.
After you've grabbed...
Nope.
Press the...
Nah, I'm good.
Snake, remember...
Okay.
Major, what about my code name?
You mean Naked Snake?
Yeah, what does it mean?
Basic bitch.
Because snakes slither through the grass unnoticed to those around them.
No, I mean the naked part.
It means without embellishment, devoid of a specified quality. In other words, basic.
Why's that my code name?
I explained that the virtuous mission is designed to test the effectiveness of Fox, right?
Right.
And the procedure used for this mission will represent the modus operandi of Fox for future missions. In other words,
The essence of Fox. Naked and pure.
exactly. And there's the fact that you went in practically naked. No weapons, no equipment.
I see. Means more than I realized.
Yes, clever, isn't it? But don't leave yourself naked to the enemy.
Roger that.
Yeah, went in naked. Just half a dozen uniforms.
Snake, certain enemy soldiers are equipped with radios.
More mechanics are gone from Phantom Pain.
It's possible to destroy the radio.
No, it isn't.
Snake, this operation is a sneaking mission. You'll be doing your job right under the enemy's nose. In the event that you're spotted by an enemy, disable him before he can alert. Snake, I recommend... Snake, the damage that an enemy takes from your gun depends on where you hit him.
No more, no longer does that.
Snake, I've
Oh, there we
completed a
go.
double check on the Fulton recovery system.
Any problems?
None. Leave your recovery to us.
Excellent.
I suppose I should explain the procedure once more before the actual maneuver.
No.
I see. Well, the Fulton recovery system allows for rapid recovery of personnel
see.
from enemy
Well-
territory, and it's perfect for these kinds of special operations.
He's gonna fall asleep during this
How
one.
it works is the plane flies by and snags a nylon lift line that the soldier has grabbed onto, and that's been elevated by a balloon. The Fulton recovery system was first designed in the 1940s as a method of picking up mail for the American Postal Service. During the Korean War, that system was redesigned to recover personnel. JAC, an ancillary organization to the CIA. Yes, good old JAC. It stands for Joint Advisory Commission Korea. Isn't that something? So, Jack first used the Fulton surface-to-air recovery system to extract agents from North
following
Korea
very
and mainland
closely.
China. Let's go over the procedure once more to be on the safe side. First, the plane drops a canister about the size of a coffin to you. Inside, you'll find a balloon, a 1,500-foot cable, and a harness that attaches to your suit. Take the items out, attach the line to your suit, fill the balloon with helium, and send the line up. The plane will approach at 125 miles per hour. Snag the cable just below the balloon with a hook on the nose of the aircraft, and whisk you away. Assuming the pickup is successful, you'll be reeled in with a winch and pulled to safety into the rear of the aircraft. Got it? Snake,
Yeah,
What?
I got it. I got it real good.
were you listening?
Yeah.
All right, then. You can get in. Snake, when in the corner view, move the right. If you have a gun, by equipping
Come on. Tell me about the space race.
excellent
Oh,
Halo
there's a
jump.
Halo one
Not
first.
really. I didn't land in the right spot.
The boss invented this
The
one
jumper
too.
lost his pack on the first real Halo jump. That'll make a good story for you.
who cares? There are no records of your operations.
I know, but
What, you're embarrassed?
no, I'm not embarrassed.
It's the boss, isn't it?
What about the boss?
Nothing, paramedic.
Doesn't sound like nothing.
Nothing to do with the boss, I mean.
It has something to do with the boss, but you don't want to say so.
Yeah, kinda.
I understand, Snake.
The boss has done a lot of work on the military study of Halo jumps. And Snake here wanted to give a perfect performance on the first real jump, you know, to show respect to the mother of the technique.
Major!
Snake, I thought you were over and out.
Wow, is that right?
You got something to say.
No,
I bet you do.
not really. I just think it's kind of sweet of you to think like that.
I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or an insult.
It's a compliment, Snake. So tell me, is it true?
What?
Not that. Is it true that the boss really worked on research for Halo jumps?
Oh, that.
Yes, it's true. Halo stands for High Altitude Low Opening. It's a jump technique developed for covert insertions into enemy territory. just like the area you're in. A plane flies at 10,000 feet or above to avoid detection by ground forces, and the jumper free falls until he's within 1,000-foot altitude above the target area, when he finally opens his chute. By using this technique, the chances of revealing the parachute landing to the enemy are marginal. The halo technique was originally developed in France. This was partly due to popularity of parachuting as a sport since the end of World War II. And the boss was an instructor for the research that was carried out there. In 1957, at the JFK Special Operations Center at Fort Bragg, the boss was invited to instruct at the first ever US military halo school. Of course, none of this is on the record, but she's the mother of modern-day special forces.
Yeah. We should have one more call about the space race. I think that's the last of his calls.
You can't keep hanging forever.
Sure you can, just play Phantom Pain.
If there's something... Press the... If you approach...
Major, tell me a little bit more about the space race.
In 1957, the Soviet Union succeeded in launching their first artificial satellite, Sputnik, into orbit. Having been beaten to the chase by the Soviets, the US government accelerated its own space program in an effort to catch up. The following year, the space development programs of the various service branches were united to form the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA. That same year, the Mercury program was launched with the goal of putting a man into space. 7 candidates were chosen from the military as the first astronauts. These were the men with the right stuff. But as you know, it was a Soviet cosmonaut, Yuri Gagarin, who made the first successful manned spaceflight 3 years ago. NASA's first successful ballistic flight came 1 month after Gagarin's mission, with the Freedom 7 carrying Alan Shepard into space. After that, with America still lagging behind the Soviets in orbital flight, President Kennedy made a momentous decision: that America would put a man on the moon before the end of the decade.
Yeah, I heard that speech, but a lot of guys I knew weren't real happy about it. They said no one was going to make them go on a mission to blow up some damn moon base.
But rocket research and missile research are closely related. Imagine, if you will, a Soviet Union able to send wave after wave of nuclear missiles raining down on Washington from a base on the surface of the moon. Even if that's still a long way from reality, if we lose the initiative, we may never get it back. We're left with no choice but to keep moving forward 1 step at a time. The Gemini program, launched 2 years ago, represents the initial step towards establishing a moon base. And yet, I don't want to call President Kennedy a liar, but I simply can't imagine that in 6 years man will have reached the moon.
I don't know. I never even thought we'd make it up into space. I guess it all depends on whether you have the will to make it happen.
Perhaps you're right.
Alright, that's it for Zero's calls. Oh, that's right, we got mauled by the fucking crocodile here. Hey, the beeping stopped. Guess we can do some of the food stuff later. I haven't been shooting the carotans, but whatever. On here, and get the call about them in the next area. And shooting is gonna be a little tougher with this resolution. Also, frame rate to move the camera around. MGS3 really did benefit a lot from the HD treatment. MGS2 still plays fine on PS2, but yeah, MGS3 is a little rougher. MGS3 was originally going to be a PS3 game, and they really had to tune it down because the PS3 wasn't coming out fast enough.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. We can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer. The Uniform option lets you pick your uniform, while the Face option lets you change your face paint. Choosing camouflage that blends in with your surroundings will help you conceal yourself more effectively. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed. You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the Camo Index. The Camo Index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature. Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
Did she say shoot everybody in the face? OG camera, let's go. Close enough. Well, we don't need to aim to do this next one. A little bit. Just like an M-Juice 2, if you put a tranquilizer in them and then they hit the ground some way, it immediately goes into effect. Look at this guy, we can't look at him with the camera. Nice. 1911 versus Beretta M9. Don't ask me, ask the US military. That's exactly what they did. They clearly had a preference. What should we do with these guys? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is a little weird going back to this camera. It's been so long. There's a carrot down here. SIG M17, yeah, if you're trying to blow somebody up, maybe.
Hey, that's Keraton.
Huh?
Right there, see it?
Where?
Right in front of you.
This frog doll?
That's Keraton. Don't tell me you've never heard of him.
Is he famous or something?
Come on, everybody knows about Keraton.
Oh, okay. But what's this frog thing doing here?
Keraton.
Huh?
He's called Keraton.
Right, so what's this Keraton doing here?
He must be getting popular in the Soviet Union.
Here?
Not that you know anything about the magic of Keraton. On the other hand, you might be able to use Keraton's power to help you in your mission.
What did you have in mind?
Keraton cries when you shake him. If the enemy hears that, they might
Shake.
come to check it out. Maybe you could use it as a diversion. And I hear that if you find all of the Keratons and shake them, something good will happen. Try it out.
Oh. You can kill it. One thing. I should go pick up the SVD. You look behind it, it's a little piggyback. There's a coin slot. Keep shooting it. It will die eventually. Rip. A coin slut. Maybe we'll go pick up the SVD. These guys stay asleep for fucking ever and hard. Oh, what's this? Has stun grenades back here? Interesting. I don't know if I remember about that. You can actually find quite a few weapons in the Virtuous mission. Even though it's so quick and so few areas. Got the SVD here. I can... Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Shit. There goes the X circle thing. AKM versus AR-15. Depends on where you live. And how far you want to shoot, I guess. Oh, he's awake. Wow. Thought he'd stay down longer. God, aiming. And that means they're all waking up now. Got any of them bullets? 16, that's right, we're in hard. Depends on the economy and the environment and how far you want to shoot things. That circle, that's right. But most likely just AR. It's an easy, practical choice.
Do you want to save?
Saves do take a minute. I wonder if the other memory card I have would be faster. This one's got all the Free McBut shit on it and larger size on it.
Do you know the creature from the Black Lagoon?
Nope, never heard of it.
These scientists are investigating a place deep in the Amazon called the Black Lagoon, and they get picked off one after the other by this fishman thing. And there was this scene when the heroine is going for a swim, and the creature sneaks up on her from underwater. Oh, I thought my heart was going to stop. I mean, of course, the 3D effects in It Came from Outer Space were a lot more intense, but...
It wouldn't be referring to you coming from outer space, would it?
How rude! Why do you say that?
Because no one on Earth could be as charming as you.
Fine. I'll just get to the point, Snake. Be careful of what's around you when you're in the water. Just imagining you swimming in those jungle rivers makes me think of you being attacked by a fishman.
I appreciate the concern.
Fishmen aren't the only things that'll attack you in the water. Really be careful out there.
Okay.
And don't be attacking any pretty girls going for a swim, either.
Are you calling me a fishman?
You started it.
I can barely fucking see it now. This guy is kind enough to bring the hornets to everyone. Ooh, did he make a different sound effect there? They all leave the area here. Oh, what the fuck? Why are you here? What? Snake Eater change? Hard difficulty change? They should all have left. Whoa, that's crazy. That's kind of crazy. Maybe it just acts different in Snake Eater? It didn't completely clear the area. Somehow this guy remained here. What? So I guess it's what, 3 guys come back now instead of 4? If we wait a minute here. That's really odd. That's gotta be a change. Snake Eater subsistence. When you go into the scope on the SVD, there's no sound effect. Another change. Nice.
What's wrong?
Can't fucking aim.
What the hell? He must be lurking nearby.
It should make that sound effect. Because you're reading the gun when you look through the scope. But it doesn't. I think it's a little tiny subtle change in subsistence. If I'm not mistaken. If anybody feels like trying it, I'm pretty sure it should make the sound effect in the other versions. Alright, we got our volunteer with us. Can't see shit. Our willingly participant to this. Willing participant.
Freeze.
Alright, you just stay like that for a minute. Oh, hold on. This is the radio guy. Might actually give me trouble if I don't destroy his radio. Uh-oh. He knows. Wait a second. Does he not say freeze again? Oh, major difference. Snake doesn't say freeze when you refresh it. When you refresh the hold up.
Please don't.
Now he just tries to use the radio and it doesn't work. Snake doesn't say freeze when you refresh the hold up. That's a big difference there. I saw you trying that. Oh shit. No. We're fucked. Oof. Okay. He didn't see that. Hey, how about you do this? Nice, we found 2 little sound effect differences there. The SVD and the hold up. Cool, cool. I had no fucking idea. So as soon as we walk into the next area, the boss will not be available anymore. So we're gonna do a few more boss calls here. Get this checkpoint again. Oh, we should definitely get the porn. If we're gonna do this, we should definitely get the porn. I think this guy has porn. Maybe this guy too? I think there's two of them, whatever. Yeah, it is a little disorienting. Yeah, no, there's two of them that have porn.
Freeze. Freeze. No, wait.
Either you survived, or there were two of them. There it is. Is it the same? Yeah. No, it's not the same. Picture book for gentlemen, full of stunning photos of young female models. The porn is different in Snake Eater. I should have known because they do the same substance in MGS2. It's different porn.
That's tasty.
Shit, now I need to look inside. We'll just use this one, I guess. Fuck it. And then reload. Or we'll look after we get the call about it. We can be patient. Ah, it's different porn. This is why I play. Let's go. Talk to the boss about it. It's a little different. When you shoot the exclamation point in this game, they still get like stunned in place, but they have a little dance that they do. They don't stay quite as still as they do in MGS2. It still works. They just dance in place a little bit and move their heads about, so it could be a little harder to get them after that. Okay, so we'll use this to yeet ourselves after we talk to the boss, so that Sigint will also talk about these. And then we have most things. Hopefully this all works that way. Oh, shit. The M16. Got it. XM16E1 at this point. Interesting bit about Delta. They changed the flash hider on the M16 to the 3-prong. But they're both accurate, both the birdcage and the 3-prong, because they did overlap for some time. They had both. But they went with the older one for Delta now. Yeah, we had the birdcage here. Shoot. That means Al just had to pick it up again. Fuck it. Actually, we don't even really need it. Wait.
I see you've got yourself a Baltic hornet's nest.
You're not the boss.
Baltic hornets are a variety of hornets that inhabit that area. The difference between them and other hornets is that they produce honey in their nests. Inside the nests are larvae, pupa, and adults. You can eat them all. In particular, the honey you find inside the nest is delicious and full of nutrients. It's easy to digest and helps pep you up when you're feeling tired. In short, it's the perfect survival food. Honey can also be used as a burn ointment. When honey is applied to a burn, it creates a protective coating over the skin. When you knock down a hornet's nest, a burn ointment will appear along with it, so don't forget to pick it up. Of course, the hornets aren't going to give up their nest without a fight. If you knock a nest down, a large swarm of hornets will come flying out, so be careful.
And later we'll get a little Easter egg hornet's nest item if you bring one to the fight with the pain.
Snake,
What's up, boss?
don't you what's up me.
Oh, that reminds me.
What is it?
I'm talking about your camouflage. Why aren't you using it?
Oh,
When you don't use any camouflage at all, you stick out like a sore thumb. Didn't you listen to a word I said?
well, I was listening, but
Then start using your camouflage. Is that clear?
yeah.
That just reminds me of the other call where she's kind of admonishing Snake. But that requires getting alerts. I'm not sure exactly how many alerts, but it's a pretty interesting call. God, I forgot. We need to go get some alerts to get the call with the boss. Should be pretty easy to farm alerts. This is a stealth mission.
Where's our backup?
Oh no, it's an alert in MG's 3. Whatever shall I do? It's better if you can't see shit. No way, wrestle guy. I wouldn't count on it.
Somebody there?
Yes, please. I need more alerts. Damn, the secrecy animation is way smoother, 30 FPS. But it doesn't slow down trying to reach 60. Okay. Excuse me, I would like one alert, please, sir. Hey. Don't just run away. Nice. Wow, I'm really bad at this game. Okay. Let's see if this is enough to get the call. Hopefully it is. I want to fucking farm alerts. Boss, I'm really bad at this game.
What the hell have
There we
you
go.
been doing these past 5 years anyway?
What's with you all of a sudden?
It's like you've forgotten everything I taught you.
That's not true.
Then why do you keep getting spotted?
Because I wanted this call.
You keep getting spotted because your camouflage isn't effective enough and because you're not being careful enough. Pay attention to your camouflage index. Watch how the enemy moves and proceed one step at a time. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Okay.
Yes, Mom. Fuck. When the call started with the boss asking him what he's been doing for all the time, like, that they haven't seen each other. Like, I got excited. I thought it was like, yeah, serious background. No, she's just talking shit.
The weapon you're equipped with now is called the XM-16E1. It's a new type of rifle currently being developed by the U.S. Army.
If it's still in development, then what's it doing here?
My guess is they captured it when it was being battle-tested in Southeast Asia. But the one you've got there is quite a bit different from the ones I've been hearing about. For one thing, it's camo painted, and it's fitted with a 3-shot burst mechanism. It even looks like you could attach a suppressor. All of these modifications are geared towards jungle combat. This doesn't look like the work of the Soviets. My guess is they were added on site by an American gunsmith during Army field trials. Open the weapon window and press the Enter button to attach or remove the suppressor. Press the Action button to switch between semi-auto, full auto, and 3-shot burst modes. Make use of each of these functions as the situation warrants.
Hold on a minute. A functional selector? In my game? Impossible.
The gun you're using is a test model of a suppressor-equipped pistol currently in development by the Navy that's been modified by the CIA into a tranquilizer gun. The suppressor-equipped pistol it's derived from is itself being developed for use by special forces based on the M39.
The Mark 22.
That's what they're going to call it if they decide to adopt it for official use. It uses a slide lock mechanism that will keep the firing sound down to a minimum.
But I'll have to reload it by hand every time I fire, right?
Right. You won't be able to fire multiple shots at once, so make every shot count. Aim for the enemy's vital spots. There's talk of designing the Mark 22 to accommodate special subsonic rounds, but for this mission, you'll be using specifically designed tranquilizer rounds. In a way, these tranquilizer rounds are like miniature syringes. When one of them strikes a target, the impact causes a needle contained within to shoot out. At the same time, chemicals inside the round are mixed to create a gas, which pushes the plunger and injects the tranquilizer into the target. You can knock out an enemy immediately by shooting them in the head, but if you shoot them in the arm or leg, the tranquilizing agent will take some time to set in. Aim carefully.
Yeah, there's still an interesting call about it with SIGINT. Well, the 3-round burst thing. How do they talk about it?
That's certainly a strange-looking grenade you've got there.
Yeah, I've never seen one like this. What is it?
It must be a new type of grenade developed by the Russians. From what I can tell, it's a non-lethal weapon that uses a flash of light and intense sound to overpower the senses of human targets. You can probably use that grenade to knock out the enemy without killing them. It might prove useful. I see you found yourself an RGD-5. RGD stands for Rochnaya Granata Degtyaryeva in Russian. It basically means hand grenade of the Degtyarev design. It's the standard issue blast fragmentation grenade of the Soviet Army.
It's lighter than the M26.
And it carries fewer explosives as well. But I'd say it's more or less equal to an M26 in terms of performance. Be careful though, the safety pin ring is on the opposite side. You'll be fine as long as you keep the safety lever pressed down with your finger.
I'll keep that in mind.
Blast fragmentation grenades use a combination of blast and shrapnel to kill their targets. This makes them effective against standing targets, but significantly less effective against targets lying on the ground. Remember that.
Okay, but how do I FAP?
What is that you have in your hands? Honestly, when did you start reading magazines like that? Didn't I teach you how to take care of business without having to rely on that sort of thing? Anyway, I'm sure some of the enemy grunts will find that sort of magazine as appealing as you seem to. Place it on the ground, and you might be able to divert their attention.
What does she mean by that? Take care of business without relying on that sort of thing? Okay, I want to see what... Oh, you can't put it here. It's different porn. Wow. It's not the subsistence porn. Nice.
Why don't you do it?
Yeah, the FAP unit. There's a similar call with Eva later where she says, if you needed help with that, you could have just asked me. Distracting the enemy. That's what she means. Didn't I teach you to take care of things without using porn? But yes, of course, the implication is that the boss... She probably invented fapping. She invented everything.
Are you smoking a cigar?
Uh-huh.
I don't approve of you smoking during the mission.
Hey, you used to smoke them.
Never mind what I did.
Aw.
But that being said, cigars can be useful in a number of different ways, like getting rid of leeches.
Did you say leeches?
Yes. If a leech clamps onto you, try pressing the lit end of a cigar into it. The leech should cringe and detach itself from you. If you try to yank it off by yourself,
Cringe.
you run the risk of it leaving its teeth inside you. With the cigar method, you won't have that problem.
Fascinating.
And unlike a cigarette, a cigar burns
Emissions.
slowly, so you can use it in place of a torch in dark
Snake
places.
beater.
I never knew a cigar had so many different uses.
Now you know, but quit smoking them during the mission. Hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Too bad we don't have the tuxedo. We'll do the tuxedo calls. Pretty cool too. You could say it's one of those calls where they're patronizing Snake. It really wants to be recognized by the boss. She doesn't give a fuck. All right, so I guess did we do the SVD call?
I see you've got your hands on an SVD. The SVD is the Soviet Union's most advanced automatic sniper rifle. It's said to be better designed and more durable than anything the West has.
It looks kind of like an AK-47.
The shape is similar, but the internal mechanism is one of a kind. It uses 7.62 by 54 millimeter rimmed cartridges, which are more powerful and precise than the ones the AK uses. It can be a powerful weapon if you know how to use it. Sniper rifles aren't meant to be used on the move. When you equip one, you'll immediately go into first-person view. The more stable your stance, the less your hands will shake when you're aiming the rifle. Make sure you're lying down before attempting to make a long-distance shot. To use the scope, press the aim button. You can also
Soviet
use the action button
556.
to change the level of magnification. By taking out enemies from a distance with the sniper rifle, you can shift the odds in your favor. Use it well. For the assault rifle,
Okay, I'll get a couple more calls with her before she disappears.
stalking is a movement technique.
Yeah.
In the jungle, it's absolutely crucial to keep your position secret from the enemy. Sometimes even the smallest sound can be enough to give your position away and get you killed. You'll have to make sure your weapons and equipment don't make noise bumping around. Use tape to secure metal objects and other items that seem likely to produce noise. After you've secured your gear, jump up and down to see whether it makes a sound.
Don't worry. I remember the drill.
Select Map in the Survival Viewer to view a map. Keep in mind that your weapons and equipment each have...
Yeah.
There is one weapon greater than any other in battle. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
What?
Do we have to go through this again?
Yes,
Will. An unflinching will to survive, no matter what.
exactly. The will to carry out your mission and return home alive will see you through even the most desperate of situations. It's the most potent weapon in your arsenal. Don't forget that, no matter what. treetops, bushes, hollow logs. There are plenty of places.
Well, what about my instincts as a gamer?
If you want to survive in
Yeah,
the
here we
jungle,
go.
you're going to need to hone all of your senses. An unnatural movement in the undergrowth, a tiny shadow peeking out through the trees in the distance. Always keep an eye out for any signs of the enemy's presence. Your sense of hearing is equally important. Visibility is poor in the jungle, so you've got to learn to pick up the enemy's presence from the sounds you hear around you. Always be listening for that one snap of a twig among the chirping of the birds and the babbling of the brooks. Your sense of smell is also important. Body odor, sweat, gunpowder, food. These faint smells wafting in the wind will tell you where the enemy...
No.
No?
I can't smell.
You? What now?
I can't smell.
Not at all.
Nope.
Not even a little bit.
Not a thing.
Oh. Well then, you'll just have to trust in your instincts as a gamer.
Ah. There's people who take this literally and think that canonically Naked Snake has no sense of smell. They completely fucking miss the point. But again, Snake is the player. We can see the game, we can hear the game, but we can't smell the game. That's why he says he can't smell a thing. Despite both Sony and Kojima separately at different points in time, both expressing interest in a fucking odor device thing for games, for your controller or something. The worst talk of it. But yeah. That's why she says you have to trust your instincts as a gamer. Called back to Master's Call and MGS1 as well. And of course she has the same frequency. And she's also gonna betray us. Go figure. But yeah. There's so many calls where Snake talks as the player. Like we were saying earlier, I have experience sniping in urban marine environments. Yeah. I can't smell. Not a thing.
Equipment.
Shit sent to snakes.
The AK-47 is the official assault rifle of the Soviet Army. It's employed not only by the Soviets, but throughout the entire Eastern Bloc. It uses 7.62 millimeter by 39 ammunitions, with a magazine capacity of 30 rounds. The AK is reliable, precise, powerful, and easy to handle. In short, one of the best assault rifles there is. Don't even think about getting into a one-man firefight against an enemy unit equipped with AKs. Avoid battle as much as possible. Are we clear?
Alright, now we fucking kill ourselves. So that SIGINT will talk about these weapons we talked about. If I do this, the game will put me back at the checkpoint before I call the boss, and it's as if those calls never happened. Because if you let the boss talk about weapons, SIGINT won't talk about them later. That kind of sucks. Shit. Ooh. We 16 minutes away now from some potential edging. Man, I have so much garbage in my inventory right now. We'll fuck around with Sokolov a little bit.
I want some more.
Edge. I don't know, man. You guys gonna kill it on MGS3?
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside.
Oh, I wonder if it's gonna do the weird thing with Zir's
Northeast section. Got it.
side picture here.
Your mission is
Oh,
to
it
bring
isn't.
Sokolov back alive.
For some reason, it
Not
defaults to
be
this
exposed
one
any kind of danger.
in
Do not
subsistence.
approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
They fucked something up in subsistence,
And one more thing,
and it
Snake.
goes to this picture instead of the default
No,
one
it's just that
after this
when you get to
little
Sokolov,
video.
I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Interesting.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
These people are a little blind. Kojima kind of had that idea floating around of... Okay, he does see me this distance. Of letting, of making people fucking learn Russian. Wait, it wasn't Kojima, was it? I forget who it was. I don't know why I just shot that guy in third person, but okay. Oh, did it slow down here? The alerts in MGS3 and just fucking bum rush everybody. maybe it will dedge. Come on. Oh, the cuts are nasty. The cuts are really nasty. They do more damage than gunfire. Yeah, I probably fucked it up. Camo index. Camo index will save me. It wasn't a tutorial call, but camo index actually makes them miss more as well. So even during an alert, hold on, we might be saved if I go 90% here. They might miss. See, that's why they're missing so much now. If I can just get these two guys. Regen a little bit. There's one. What is he doing? Man, I can't see what's going on. Oh, there he is. I see him now. Shit, did he move? No. Saved by camo index. Nice. Oh yeah, I was gonna take over this whole fucking place anyway. To mess with Sokolov. Dedge. Oh shit, there's still a guy somewhere.
Patrol here. We've lost sight of the intruder. Going into high alert.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
Okay. Now before all these guys wake up. Just apply death to everybody.
What's wrong?
Oh, fuck. First guy woke up. You're just asking for it. Alright. Think that's it? Let's get the checkpoint. Oh, Jesus, 10 minutes. Maybe we'll die with Sokolov. It didn't respawn, right? Alright, now that we're clear here, we can go mess with Sokolov a little bit. Let's get... let's sneak in here. Urge. Kinda cool we can go up here. To forget about it. Okay, so for one thing, this guy didn't hear anything. Nice. That whole thing, that whole alert, he didn't hear shit. So, for one thing, if we put the mask back on here, and we try to go meet Sokolov.
Snake, when you meet Sokolov, don't go in wearing that mask.
Why?
He won't like it.
Won't like it?
No.
Why not?
Just trust me, he won't.
Hmm.
You'll need Sokolov's full cooperation to complete this mission successfully. Don't do anything to make him lose confidence in you. When you go in to meet Sokolov, make sure you remove your disguise. Got it?
Of course. Sokolov is not gonna like this mask. Nobody likes his face. He knows, too. Maybe he even knows Rykov. Because he knows Volgin. They have a few extra lines here. If we try to open the door. Okay. He knows. Everybody's a Rykov hater except Volgin, who has no redeeming qualities.
Good.
Oh shit. Oh, Siphon 17 with a 10 pack, thank you. That sound caught me off guard because I don't even know what my own sound effects are now that we were worked on them. Hey, cheers, man. Thank you so much for the 10 gift of subs. So, finally, we always talk about this when we play HD or Subsistence or whatever. The original camera, you can't see inside. So, if you just throw something in there. Shit. Oh well. The bird. You were lucky. We'll meet again. Fuck it, let's break the glass first. We throw a live snake in there. See, it's supposed to be on him, but with the other camera, we'd be able to see inside. That is, there's actually no Sokolov model rendered in there. It's just his voice. I wonder if... Nah. Book and magazine. And throw some more shit in there. Stun grenade. I think it's gonna kill the snake. Yep. I don't quite have all the grenades and shit you can throw in the air, but of course, you can use a frag grenade. Sokolov's scream here. Alright. Frag grenade. Those are not good for you.
You've created a time paradox. Snake, you can't go changing the future like that.
None other than Colonel Campbell comes to scold us about it. Now, this is a little more involved than it seems, because some people think, oh my god, Campbell is watching the whole time. It's VR. MGS3 is VR, because Campbell's watching. Now, the reason that we have Campbell's voice actor here is it's a reference that only works in Japanese. In Japanese, Colonel Campbell and Emmett Brown from Back to the Future, you know, Doc Brown, they have the same voice. Because obviously Back to the Future is dubbed in Japanese. So he's the same voice as Emmett Brown. What you're hearing there is not Colonel Campbell, it's Doc Brown. It's a Back to the Future reference telling you about the time paradox you just created. But it works out nicely for the series because they happen to be the same voice actor in Japanese. In English, yeah, okay, it's cool that you hear Campbell. Another reason you should have played the games before this one, but yeah, it doesn't quite work as well in English. But that's why. Oh, the moose. Tactical time paradox action. 50-minute time paradox. Thank you so much. The moose has been on the loose with how many $50 donations now? Thank you so much again. Yeah, well, obviously, he's not gonna survive the grenade. Unlike, say, Huey in Phantom Pain, who survives a grenade to the balls when you first meet him. Alright, let me think if I'm missing anything on the show. Nah, we'll move on. No. Also, there are... Oh, that's right, this guy. Just... Stealth! There are no venomous snakes in the Virtuous mission. So, no, I don't think he's programmed to. Seriously, thank you, whoever's been donating anonymously. A non-moose. Something tells me it's not a moose.
You must be Sokolov.
Are you one of Volgin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word. But we've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of Gru. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon.
No, they never fucking call him Thunderbolt ever again.
Bid for power. The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers...
Now, there's a call where they call the boss Voyevoda again. At the beginning of the Snake Eater operation. If you keep calling Zero about it,
just to keep me inside.
he will say it.
Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come, I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
Is that so? America is truly a frightening country.
Having second thoughts?
No. I have no love for this place. Let's go.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
I had to kill them. There was no other way. But no one will know we were involved.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss some time ago.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
please.
So this is the legendary boss. Huh? We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. Huh. What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Soldier?
He's the Ocelot commander.
Ha! That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU.
Sokolov, take cover.
Huh. You're not the boss, are you?
GRU operatives!
What is that stance? Huh. That gun. If you're not the boss, then die.
Major!
Leave it! Shoot the other one! Whoa!
impossible. You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do, but testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
You filthy American dog!
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you all right?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgan.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB and GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgan's.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
Alright, let's save here.
You want to save?
Come on, little memory card, you can do it. Damn, did it always take this long in PS2? Damn.
Snake, have you heard of It Came from Outer Space?
Yeah, you told me already.
So this astronomer sees a meteor, but it's really an alien spaceship, right? And the aliens start replacing the townspeople with clones and forcing them to help repair the ship. The 3D effects were quite realistic.
I've got all the real I can handle.
It's
here
just a
in the
black
jungle.
one.
No, you don't get it. Precisely because it's realistic, with the images jumping out of the screen at
You
you.
don't get
makes
it.
for a nice escape from reality. I have to admit it made my eyes tired, but it was really intense. Unfortunately, they don't make very many of those movies anymore.
When did it come out?
I was still in college, so probably about 10 years ago.
Guess I'm out of luck then.
You know, they're coming out with household versions of video cassette recorders. One day you'll be able to see old movies anytime you want. It'll be like having a movie theater in your own home.
Really?
It's like if you had a record with movie film etched onto it instead of music. It'll work the same way.
You're kidding.
No, really. And someday they might make movies where you control the characters yourself.
No.
Sounds like magic.
Really?
It'll happen. Make sure you stay alive to see it, Snake.
And someday people will watch you to move those characters yourselves in those movies. Crazy, huh? Alright. I have a lot of stuff to cover here, but I'm gonna have to cut it a little short today. A mere 8 hours. So we will be back tomorrow with more MGS3 goodness. Thank you all very much for watching. And thank you to all our supporters.